What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. It's Friday the 13th, so will the WWE Universe be in for a frightful night of bad wrestling, or a bunch of brilliant bouts on the Blue Brand? Well, join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE has the next Brock Lesnar, a dream match being planned for WrestleMania 39, Rhea Ripley calls out Beth Phoenix, new Bloodline member, a WWE star is suffering from stage 2 colon cancer, a huge WWE push, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our non-wrestling channel, Incredible. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a pleasant surprise. Last night's Smackdown Women's Championship match was just what the Blue Brand needed, as newly crowned champion Ronda Rousey showed she's a fighting champion, and Smackdown rookie Raquel Rodriguez stepped up to Rousey's open challenge. Ronda took the time to put Raquel over, but last night's match confirmed there's more to the Blue Brand's female division than Charlotte Flair. The WWE kept Raquel strong as she didn't tap out and had several near falls on the champion. Someone must have been paying attention in Booking 101 class, because this match showed just how to book both a champion and a challenger in an engaging match while leaving the door open for a rematch down the road. Furthermore, last night's show furthered the title's importance by having Shotzi and Aaliyah arguing over their worthiness to compete for the title. Number 2, clear camera cuts. Last night's SmackDown's visuals were a big improvement over the Blue Brand's vertigo-induced barrage of fast camera cuts that made it difficult to keep your dinner down, let alone to follow the action. Did Kevin Dunn have the night off, or was he attending film school so he can learn about more unnecessary cuts and camera angles to distract the fans from the action in the ring rather than focusing on it? Hopefully SmackDown sticks to the fundamentals of covering sports entertainment rather than trying to reinvent the wheel. There's nothing wrong with improving wrestling's presentation, such as heightened production values or more cameras to capture the action, but there's no need for excessive and self-indulgent cuts. Number 3, a bevy of beauties. Last night's SmackDown wasn't busting out the seams with matches, but what it lacked in quantity, it made up for quality. Riddle vs Zayn was a refreshing change of pace, and while the fans have seen Banks and Naomi vs Natalya and Baszler, the match still did entertain. Ronda vs Raquel was good and hopefully just the beginning for the two. Kofi Kingston vs Butch was arguably the only exception, not so much because the match stunk up SmackDown, but because fans have seen enough of the New Day vs Sheamus and company. Number 4, the Gunther Gulak segment. Poor Drew Gulak. How can he go from getting a pep talk from Intercontinental Champion Ricochet to getting manhandled backstage by Gunther? Right now, Drew's only purpose seems to be putting people over, but there's hope as Ricochet's words of encouragement could lead to better days ahead for Gulak. Number 5, Sami steps up. Once again, Sami Zayn has managed to weasel his way into a role with the Bloodline, as seen by him serving as the Bloodline's mouthpiece for the feud between RK Bro and the Usos. Zayn is always good on the stick, and the question of what will happen when he outlasts his usefulness to the Bloodline is intriguing. And number 6, turning trash into treasure. Is the Women's Tag Team Championship suddenly a prestigious belt? No, but Sasha Banks and Naomi are working hard to restore credibility to the belt. The Boss and Naomi put in a solid performance, not surprised since they're both top caliber athletes, against a talented team of Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Banks and Naomi's post-match interview, where they challenged the WWE's various teams to bring it, including NXT, will hopefully lead to more title defenses, including ones on pay-per-views. The belts have had a haphazard history, with infrequent defenses and odd choices for champions. Nevertheless, Sasha and Naomi could turn things around. But that was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, the Corbin crisis. Fans who thought that Madcap Moss's win over Happy Corbin at WrestleMania Backlash was the end to their feud had a bitter pill to swallow after Corbin laid out Moss on last night's SmackDown, with Moss even doing a stretcher job that could theoretically write him off for several weeks. Currently, it's still unknown whether Madcap needs time off for personal reasons or an injury. Whatever the reason, it's clear that Corbin vs Moss isn't done, despite the storyline's lack of appeal. What is it with Happy Corbin and the WWE running his feuds into the ground? Corbin is a solid worker and a solid heel, which often leads to his fans asking why the WWE isn't doing more with him. We think the problem is that Corbin is too good at his job, as he can always be counted on to make an opponent look good, and he's a natural heel. Unfortunately, he's become a crutch for lazy writing who feel they can milk him for months with the same opponents, be they Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, or still Madcap Moss. Number 2, another futile feud. Speaking of feuds that are being dragged out, when is the New Day vs Sheamus, Ridge Holland and Butch war gonna end? This is another feud that's worn out its welcome, largely due to the lack of creativity in keeping it interesting. Obviously, this program is about giving both teams something to do since the tag titles are tied up between RK Bro and the Usos. It's equally obvious the writers are in auto-booking mode as they have the New Day win one week and Sheamus' group win the next week. Where's the incentive to fight? The biggest story in this program is whether Butch needs to be microchipped so Sheamus and Ridge Holland can keep track of the wandering wrestler. Now there's nothing downright ugly about last night's Smackdown as the WWE featured several strong matches while also giving the fans a reason to tune into next week's show as RK Bro and the Usos battle to determine the unified tag team champions. This was a strong follow-up to WrestleMania Backlash and a return to form for Smackdown, which has been uneven the last few weeks. What'd you guys think of the blue brand though last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at the new Brock Lesnar. Topping today's headlines is a story that WWE wants Roman Reigns to be this era's version of Brock Lesnar. Dave Meltzer discussed things in this week's Observer, noting, "It seems the idea now is to try and make Reigns into a new Lesnar, a guy who beats everyone and is portrayed at a level of his own, while he only works limited dates." Although conventional wisdom has it that Reigns will work more dates than the Beast did during his championship reigns, i.e. few and far between, that hasn't been confirmed and fans will have to wait and see how things play out over the summer when Roman is reportedly taking time off television and live events, with the exception of Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. Meltzer recently discussed how the WWE is apparently quite happy with not booking World Championship matches on every show, which means that Roman's limited schedule shouldn't require the WWE to take the belt off him unless it feels the time is right. What do you guys think of Roman Reigns being the next Brock Lesnar? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE planning a dream match for WrestleMania 39? Could next year's Showcase of the Immortals feature a dream match in WrestleMania 39? Well, that's one of the rumors making the rounds as there's talk that WWE is considering a Becky Lynch vs Ronda Rousey match for the show of shows. So far, the talk suggests Charlotte Flair won't be involved, but that could change as Mania draws closer, much like the WrestleMania 35 women's bout that turned into a triple threat match. If the match does happen, it'll be interesting to see whether Rousey is still SmackDown Women's Champion. Next up, a former WWE star has stage 2 colon cancer. Unfortunately, the meat sauce man Virgil shared some rather unfortunate news recently, as not only did he recently announce that he suffered 2 massive strokes and has dementia, to make matters worse, he has now announced that he has stage 2 colon cancer. The former bodyguard of the $1 Million Man recently announced on Twitter, "It's really shitty right now. To make things worse, I know I have stage 2 colon cancer. I'm a fighter, but you need your help. I cannot afford any of the medical bills and would love your support." Putting in a link for his support. Love you guys. Now this is incredibly unfortunate and we hope that Virgil makes a fast and full recovery. Next up, a WWE superstar getting a huge push. Raquel Rodriguez's strong performance against SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey has fans and pundits thinking the WWE has some big plans for her. Wrestling News' Angel Rodriguez commented on the importance of Raquel's match, saying, "Ronda won by rolling up Rodriguez, but it was clear that WWE sees big things in Rodriguez because she was protected. They made sure to give Rodriguez a lot of offense with near falls, and she was not booked to lose via tap out." Rodriguez and Rousey shook hands after the match. Would you guys like to see her get a massive push? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a new Bloodline member? The Bloodline have been dominant on television with them holding 4 championships between the 3 members. However, is there room for a 4th? Well, Jey Uso thinks so as he commented on Naomi likely being in the Bloodline very soon. During a conversation with Corey Graves on his After the Bell podcast, Uso had this to say when he asked about that possibility. "It's very likely, man. She talks about it a lot. She says she can jump and glow." He continued saying, "She's ready to just snap, like she could snap, man. She's so ready to try something new. She's always been adaptive and she gets it. Sometimes I forget she's been here for 10 years too." Would you guys like to see Naomi in the Bloodline? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Ric Flair one more match. And last but not least, the rumors of Nature Boy Ric Flair returning to the ring continue to grow as Dave Meltzer discussed the latest news about Slick Rick during a recent Wrestling Observer radio. He is planning to wrestle again. Yes, I don't know more details. He told me it was a secret, but the rumor has it that it's Ric Flair and FTR against the Rock and Roll Express and somebody. A match that he's training for, but not right away. I guess it'll get announced when it gets announced if it happens. Something like this could fall through. He could get hurt in training. The 73-year-old Hall of Famer was recently seen training with wrestler Jay Lethal. Whether or not Flair's body can hold up to a match remains to be seen, but anyone who knows Flair knows the dirtiest player in the game is going to do whatever he wants, regardless of the risks. Do you think it's wise for Flair to wrestle? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.